Welcome to our game stream, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to XCFL Reloaded. I'm Regan, your broadcaster, and we have Ace with us today. Ace, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing really good. Sorry, man. I did not realize they'd be kicking off a little early and had a little technical difficulties trying to get my mic to work, but we should be all good right now.
It's all good. I explained to the league that you just had to take an extra long dump, and that's why we're a little late getting started.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, man, it seems like to be sort of a one-sided game so far. We got Jared getting out to that 13-0 deficit over Doss.
But taking a look at the game, Derek Carr has just had a rough game. I think he's got 2 fumbles already. He's been off in his passes, and the Jets are capitalizing. They got stalled in the red zone twice early, settled for field goals, and then they just scored on this one. So they're on a roll.
We're going to see if the Oakland offense can capitalize.
They're going to have to, because the rest of the AFC West all took wins in week 1. So Doss doesn't get going here. He may end up starting week 1 in the hole.
And Carr dropping back to pass, hits the corner route, and that's complete for about 30 or 35 yards.
He needs to hit a couple of those, build his confidence back up, because he has had a rough start.
What are his stats so far? Do you know what it's looking like?
2 of 4 for 45 yards, but those fumbles are just a bad mark on his record right now.
And there's a good little counter to the hard pass rush of the Jets, getting a first down off the screen pass.
That bumps him up to 3 of 5 for 57 yards, and he loves Mabry. Mabry's just kind of a old school runner, just pound. He's a wannabe Poyer is what he is.
Carr coming up to the snap in the pistol. Hands off to the running back, going left. Makes a little cut, doesn't get very far. Goes down at about the 40-yard line, gain of about 1.
This Jets defense has been up and down, up and down. You know, they had that great year a couple seasons back, but they've been off. But I think Jared's wanting to finish strong here. Let's see how they get it done.
Carr taking the snap in the gun, spread empty. Going right, gets about 4 yards on the play. Hits his receiver, Gray.
Funky little turnaround there. You could see that Carr is still a little off on his passes. It's weird.
Maybe he hasn't been notified the season has begun. He takes the snap, receiver in motion going left, and he is hit almost immediately after taking the snap. Brings up 4th down and 3 yards. They're going to kick a field goal.
You have to count this as a win for the Raiders, though. I mean, because they have just gotten pounded early, and to only be down 10 after 2 turnovers is pretty fortunate for them.
For sure. Doss is lucky to be hanging in for this one. And we've got the guy from USC coming out on the play. Second-year man. Tries to break a big one, but can't break that last tackle. Goes down at the 30.
Parker Easy, in his second season with the Jets, he's looked pretty good today, and you always got to keep an eye on that tight end, Hollier, for these Jets. You cannot cover him with the line.
For sure. You can barely cover him with a corner, too. He's just too big.
He's a beast.
Very few teams in the league that match up well against him.
Waller has just had no room to run today. It's been all Parker Easy getting it done, moving the ball downfield. The running game is non-existent.
And they let Newton go in free agency this year. Jared seemed to be pretty confident, thinking he could, get his run game going even without Newton.
He may be questioning that right now because I forgot what the stat we're showing right now, but he's like 5 or 6 runs for negative yardage. So
Wow. Makes you wonder. Easy coming out in the gun. And hands off again to the running back. Just tries to get what he can. There were about 4 or 5 guys at block shed on that play. Nowhere to go.
there you go. 8 rushes for negative yardage. There's old Zach Larson. Nick Larson's better football player brother.
Bigger, taller, stronger, all the above.
All of the above.
But does he disregard offensive line talent as much as Nick does?
I don't know. You got to imagine a linebacker respects a little bit of offensive line.
A little bit of a wild overthrow there by Easy. It's hard to overthrow a 6'8" target, but man, he sure did.
Both of these offenses struggle a little bit. The only reason the Jets are up there is because their defense has been balling.
No doubt. And that's funny because Jared's typically an offensive man. He's had some really explosive offenses in the past, especially these last few years. Can't really get that defense to figure it out. And Jared has a unique style. He's one of the few guys in the league that does user the corner, which is interesting because I don't know if he goes to the short side or the long side, but he likes using that cornerback.
And that may be the only way to cover Jalen Holmes, because that guy is almost unstoppable.
That's
Jalen
true.
Holmes is amazing.
Yeah, if you don't have good corner talent, you might as well do your best to lock down their number 1 receiver.
There you go. Maybe with his 3rd carry for a total of 6 yards. Both of these running games just struggling.
Carr coming out in the gun. Twins left. In close. Looking to roll right. And he's sacked on the play. Logan Morrow, the guy from Carolina that he acquired in the trade a few years back.
Yeah, and that's tomorrow's 2nd sack of the game, so he's having a big one.
Just moving the tackle deep. Like he's not even there.
Deep, 3rd and 15. Yeah, he's a beast.
All right, brings up 3rd and 15. Carr coming in the gun, looking left, and somehow it's intercepted.
McMillan with the interception and a 3rd turnover for these Raiders. Carr is having a rough.
That must have been tipped about 3 or 4 times. I thought it was incomplete.
It was a little volleyball drill there. I think that's one where video review may have been helpful.
For sure. Stretch going left, tries the spin move, gets just past the 1st down marker on a 10-yard run. That's a nice little jaunt for the running back. Biggest run of the day.
Waller finally in that positive yardage, so he's got 9 carries for 4 yards. Gotta love that 0.5 average.
.5 average. Yeah, that might not be the best in, if we're talking. Oh, tries to force it into Hollier, but that's good coverage on the play. That's about as good as you can ask.
That was great when you're sitting in that linebacker fire. Just cover 0 on that, and Parker Easy. I was mistaken earlier. He is actually 2 for 7 now, 79 yards, but he does have a touchdown pass. So.
Crowd in the line of scrimmage, and they run it against the look. Gets 9 yards on the play.
Apparently, we just had to talk bad about Waller, and he's beaten up a little bit now. That's
sure is.
Second long run on this drive, and they're looking to move the chains again.
Easy coming out in the gun. Dropping back. Hits the running back out of the backfield, but there's a flag on the play. I don't know if it was holding or roughing the passer.
Waller gets in.
And it was roughing the passer.
Ooh. Klinkskill gets the flag.
Yep, that'll be declined, of course, bringing up the field goal unit. Trying to make it a 17-point margin here in the middle of the second.
That's a big lead with how rough this Oakland offense has been having it. So we'll see if they can put a touchdown on the board. It's feeling like they almost have to have a touchless drive to hang in there before the half.
No doubt. You need something to feel good about. And the kick goes into the end zone, and he takes a knee. 1st and 10, Oakland. So Ace, from what you've seen from this New York defense, how do you think you'd attack them here?
You know, Oakland may be a little confused because I'm not sure that they've seen too many people attacking the box as much as the Jets are right now. I think everyone's been afraid of Holmes, but Jared's not really caring. He's just sending everybody and putting a lot of pressure on Carr, and it seems to be rattling the guy.
That's a fair point. That was a pretty nice run there. Gain of about 9, bringing up 2nd and 1. Gray in motion, going left. Tries to cut up field, but gets stopped in the backfield. Mabry went down for a loss of 1.
Big stop to bring up another 3rd down here. You want to keep an eye on free safety Harvey Murphy. That was the Jets' 1st-round pick. They didn't have a good draft as far as I'm concerned, but he's a decent player. See if he can have an impact on the game.
And he is thumped in the backfield, going nowhere. Another loss of 1 on the play. That is McMillan again on the play. What a game he's had so far.
He has come up with some huge plays. Forces another punt, and here we go, Jets on offense again.
And USC man taking it out. Making a nice little cut to the edge and gets it up to about the 42-yard line. This is a nice return by Breckner.
Huge return. Here we go, Jets at the midfield again, and let's see if their offense can get rolling. I don't know. Parker Easy needs to show me something here at 2 completions on 7 attempts.
Parker Easy walked into a pretty nice situation there last season. Jared acquired both Hollier and Dalton Breckner in the draft. Number 82 and number 83, one out of USC and Hollier out of, I believe it was Clemson. But those two have been a dynamic duo for that offense.
Yeah, I think he's trying to reclaim that magic he had with Chance Page a while back. And he had 1 year where Jared was on fire. And then the following couple years, it hasn't been there. So maybe this is it. Just needed a couple years to develop these guys.
Maybe. And Easy with all day to throw. Looking deep. And Breckner gets whacked and can't hold on to it.
He went real aggressive there, didn't he? He had a couple guys wide open, shallow in the middle, but he went for the big play. Breckner couldn't haul it in.
And when you're up 17-3, you can afford to take some of those chances.
You know, I have to agree with you. Here it is, 3rd and 6. Let's see if he goes aggressive again or just moves or goes to move the chains. 2 minutes, 51 seconds left in the half. You'd think he wants to put at least another field goal up on the board here and just push that lead a little bit farther.
No doubt. Easy, dropping back, takes about a 10-yard drop, and it's intercepted. And he might go all the way, open field in front of him. And he can't quite. He does. What a truck move to get him into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
And there's Larson scoring for the Raiders. Maybe that's the spark they needed. And what what a muscle move just to break out of that tackle. He had 3 guys on him and said, "Get off of me."
He must have been training with his older brother in the gym.
Maybe that's it. Old Nick Larson just training up his brothers for that NFL talent. XCFL talent.
There you go. And the Jets coming out here with 2:30 left on the clock in the first half. Do you think they're going to just try and run it out, or do you think they go for another shot here?
I don't know. They got to feel like they're a little bit on the ropes here. Oakland just cut that lead. They're only down by 10 now. The Jets have struggled on offense. They don't have any run game minus that one drive where Waller had a couple runs. There's another one where he's stuffed. And Parker Easy has not had the easiest time throwing. So maybe he needs to not be so aggressive like he was on that last play. That last passing play.
Easy coming out in the I form, under center, looking to fire, and it's intercepted yet again by Larson. What a game this guy's had.
Unbelievable. Parker Easy has all day. The offensive line is providing him a beautiful pocket. He's just made 2 terrible decisions. And Larson's capitalized on it. Let's see if the Raiders, if they score here, what a turnaround.
And they got 2 minutes to go, and they're on the 25. They can definitely come away with points here if they play their cards right. Carr in the gun. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Cannon coming in motion. And he runs the ball going left. Tries a little juke move. It doesn't pay off. And he's down for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7.
There's the rookie free safety, Murphy, coming in on to stop that run at 3 yards. Doss is going to continue to pound Mabry. Let's see if he can get a couple to build that average up there. I don't know, Regan, you got to be unhappy with these running games we're seeing.
Oh, it's brutal. Yeah, I'm not seeing much to be that proud of. Not much to talk about. What a hit, though, in the secondary. Surprised he held on to that slant route. And Carr
First goal from the 6.
Yeah. Carr
Sorry to step on your toes there.
You're good, no worries. Holmes coming in motion, going right. And Mabry taking the handoff. Doesn't get far. Actually stopped at the line. 2nd and goal from the 6. Jared's going to call a timeout.
There's the rookie Murphy on the tackle again, stopping him short. So Mabry and Murphy just going head-to-head here. We'll see if Doss could punch it in. You know he wants this touchdown here to bring it within a field goal. That would be a huge morale boost for these Raiders after a rough start.
And who was the one that kicked off to start the game? Who's going to receive it in the second half?
The Jets should receive the ball.
Okay. And that's a big moment for these Raiders. They need to get if they can get a touchdown here, that would really keep them closer. Because if they get a field goal, they're still down a touchdown, and the Jets have the ball coming out of the second half.
Yeah. Interesting call there on defense. Cover 4 against a Wildcat look. But it worked.
And I've heard some people like that cover 4 against the run. The safeties seem to play it better. That just seems to be the way people are going. And a toss going right, slips a tackle, and he's in for the touchdown.
Unbelievable run. He looked like he juked left. It wasn't the right move, but he was able to get away from the defender diving at his ankles. And he slips in outside, and these Raiders are in the game. They ran 1:22 off the clock, so there's only 41 seconds left. Let's see if Parker Easy can get his act together after 2 interceptions to Larson.
He's certainly not making it look easy out there.
Oh. No, he's not living up to his name, is he?
Not at all.
You do love the puns, don't you?
Oh, just a bit. And Larson and that defense come out ready to try and stop Easy. Easy's in the gun. Spread formation. Fakes the give, and he is whacked in the backfield by who else? Mr. Zach Larson.
Larson with the sack on the option play. They shouldn't count those as sacks. They should be able to tell that's an option, and now he's become a runner, so it doesn't count as a sack. But
exactly.
That's my opinion.
Easy on the shot play to Hollier. What a snag over the middle. First down,
Hollier,
Jets.
Hollier pushes it deep into Raider territory. Gets it past the 50 at least on a deep pass, and these guys are on the move again. 28 seconds left.
For sure. What looked to be a runaway game here at the end of the first has come really close here. It's been impressive. 8, and we got Easy going right. Nice snag on the play there.
And critical move there. He gets out of bounds, allowing the Jets to save that timeout. Clock stops, 23 seconds, and they're just 11 yards away from the red zone. These guys are looking like they'll at least get a field goal unless Parker Easy decides to throw another completion to Larson.
Green 39! Green 39!
Easy taking the snap. Looking to fire right, and he's got Hollier, and he's out of bounds at the 25.
A little clock play here. He moves the ball up 6 yards, Hollier does. Steps out of bounds. That took about 4 seconds. He could do that all the way down the field.
Easy in the gun yet again. Looking with the empty set. Trying to fire over the middle. Overthrown badly. Almost a pick.
That one should have been picked. And I'm blown away with how much time Easy has back there. And the quality of the reads that he's making. Lack thereof, really.
Has been a rough game for him.
He has all day. There's no pressure on Easy.
Because partially, I think that's because Oakland actually had Khalil Mack retire this offseason. And not having their star pass rusher that they've had the entire cycle, they're just not getting the kind of push up front that we're used to seeing from them.
That is huge. They did draft a star defensive tackle in Benson, but he is, you cannot replace Khalil Mack.
Easy with 17 years and a half to throw, and he still throws it into double coverage, and it's almost picked off again. Brings up 4th and 4.
There's another dropped interception by the safety there. You got that's 2 plays in a row that should have been picked off. So the Jets coming away with a field goal here is a win.
For real. It's rare that you're happy to be in the red zone and walk away with a field goal, but man, that time I'd be thrilled if I was these Jets. 3 points is always better than 0.
Yep, and barring some crazy play by Latimer here on the return.
And he stopped.
I believe that. Oh, and 1 second left on the clock, so let's see what happens here. I don't want to get to the third quarter before we're actually there.
That's a good call.
You never know what happens right here with Jalen Holmes on the field.
That's true. With all that speed, you can never underestimate him. But Carr hasn't been really been able to get it to him too well today, so we'll see how Carr does on this play. Comes up 1st and 10, making a little check to his left.
Oddly enough, the Jets press. I don't know. This looks like danger.
Makes another check, going left. Stepping up in the pocket, and he's sacked and fumbles again, but it's recovered by the offense, and that will bring us into halftime. New York Jets 23, Oakland Raiders 17.
I really interesting play there. They pressed, and Jared, like you said, he played the cornerback and covered Jalen Holmes, and I think that threw Doss off, so he had no time and Carr got hit again and just fumble-itis.
Been a rough day for him so far. Sometimes you just don't feel like you can hold on to the ball as a quarterback. And it appears there's going to be a little bit of a position changing here. They're going to be reshuffling their offensive line here coming into the second half. I think Doss has had enough.
Coach Doss over here just tearing up his offensive line, demanding that they give Carr some time. I'm not sure, though. I mean, he has to be able to make a quick read when you got that much pressure on you, and you can't be putting the ball on the grass 3 times in the first half.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Easy coming in the heavy set, running the ball out of it, and they get about 2 or 3 yards down to the 25-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Waller at 13 carries for 20 yards. Still unacceptable rushing stats on the Regan scale.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, first off, his quarterback doesn't have 80 yards, so, that automatically disqualifies him from, the Regan cheese scale.
Yep. Collier with another big catch there, and Benson.
Big injury there.
Benson gets hurt.
That's one of his safeties that's been making all those nice plays back there for him.
Yeah.
It might be a huge loss. Running the ball. Waller again. Takes it up to right at midfield. 2nd and 4.
Waller just chipping away. He's not getting frustrated. He just keeps on pounding the ball, and eventually he's going to break a big one.
Yeah, and that's a brilliant coaching call there by Jared. Sometimes it's easy to get frustrated when you aren't running the ball well. I mean, here it is again, another 2-yard loss. I mean, he's ran it 15 times for 23 yards. Most users would probably have given up on the run at this point. They would have said, nah, screw that. I'm not just going to run and get whacked every single play. But, man, you got to give it to him. He's being patient with it, and he's running down the clock, trying to sit on this lead.
That could work to his advantage, especially when you have Benson. Benson just got hurt. It looked like it said he was a dislocated knee. He's been making some plays, but as long as Larson's on the field, apparently he's going to continue to make plays, especially after showing another one tackle for loss on that last attempt.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know who this Larson guy is. I haven't even heard of him.
Larson actually was drafted by the Broncos. Star linebacker. He was a really great player, but he ended up going to Oakland in the trade a couple seasons ago, and looks like he's having a day today.
For real. Those little interdivisional trades, sometimes that inspires a player to do better, work harder.
And with a little knowledge of the Broncos, I can't even remember right now what I got for him. It's been a couple seasons.
Wow. I mean, it must have been enough, I mean, because he seems to be a pretty decent player.
He's a good player, yeah. I had to think long and hard about moving him because he was playing alongside Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, that's right. So you did have a pretty good star at the position. At that point, Wagner was still, high 80s, still cranking it out at 35. Yeah. Like, geez.
He's still making plays.
Is he still in the league?
He's slowed down a lot, but he's still starting for me at middle linebacker.
What a beast. That might have been one of the most underrated trades this season. When I saw you trade for him season 1, I kind of laughed. I was like, or it wasn't season 1, but it was really, really early. And I was like, dude, that guy's so old. Like, he's going to be out of the league in 2-3 years. And then sure enough, he goes the whole cycle, all 9 seasons. And he's like, nah, screw off Regan. Like, I'm going to have a great year.
Week 17 of last season, He had 10 tackles in one game.
Oh my gosh.
He's still making plays. It's
What a freak.
unbelievable.
That is
Doss,
unbelievable.
just to go back to that last play, Doss had Cannon open on the right side, but chose to go to Holmes on the left, and Greer, I think that was Greer. No, I may be mixing up cornerbacks, but the cornerback for the Jets on the left side just made an excellent swat.
Good for him. And that's not easy. Not easy to cover Jalen Holmes, as you well know.
I well know. I don't even have anything more to say than that.
Having flashbacks like, oh no.
Those kind of plays are where Holmes excels too. He gets these little screen plays and he just makes a move and he's gone.
Stat of the
Excellent.
day. Do you know? Okay, just take a wild guess. How many yards do you think Jalen Holmes has right now?
I haven't seen him make any plays. I'd have to say 0.
That was his first reception, and he got 1 yard on the play. So in the middle of the third for Oakland, he has 1 catch for 1 yard.
That's the story of the game right now. If this offense can't get the ball in the hands of their superstar, they're not going to win the game.
The secondary has really showed up to play today. They have keyed on Holmes, and they said, we're going to have anybody else beat us but him, and it's working. Sticking with the run here, Mabry goes down behind the line of scrimmage, brings up 2nd and 11. No run game whatsoever for these two teams.
Morrow, we were talking linebackers. He's another one that's come over, like you said, for Carolina, and he's having another great game with a big tackle there.
Ace, let's be honest. Who on this Jets team is not from Carolina? These guys are the New York Panthers.
I don't know. It's like Carolina North, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, for real. I mean, you got Parker Easy, you got Parker Skinner, you have let's see, Morrow. I mean, all of his big studs that really need to make a play here in this game are pretty much from Carolina. We give Jared a lot of heck because he's given Riot some pretty good deals in the past, but sometimes it looks like Riot's taking him for a ride on some of these trade deals.
He's got some players, though. I mean, he's pulled some very good players from
Speaking of plays, what a play there by the sub linebacker on 3rd and 11. Picks off the pass, brings it back to midfield. The Jets are going to take over on offense.
It's frustrating to watch how bad Carr is playing right now, but he has these games. I know him well. He either is unstoppable or terrible, and today he is terrible.
Waller breaks the first tackle but can't escape the second. Goes down at the 47-yard line, 2nd and 5.
The Raiders get faked out by that fullback fake, and Waller gets out there on the toss, but Gentry gets to the ball carrier and saves them from giving up a huge play.
Easy goes down about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Actually loses about 8 yards on the play. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Bentley's one of those players who just got that sack that he comes up, you don't hear about him the whole game, and then all of a sudden some big play gets made on defense, and of course here's Bentley making the play. I love this Raiders defense, and coming from a Broncos guy, that's not a good thing to say, but they make plays.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to give it to them, especially your division rival. You almost know their plays and know their players better than they do. It's like you know who their best ones are.
Bentley almost gets to the quarterback again there and pressures Easy into a not good throw, forcing the 4th down.
Yeah, that's a tough one, though, because worst case, if you're throwing it deep, it gets picked off. It's basically, the same as punting it about 25 yards. They'll take it here on the 20. So on plays like that, sometimes you're just tossing it up to your guys and just seeing if they can make a play.
It's a good call. He did put it where only his guy had a chance to get it. There was no risk in that throw. Carr's been the one taking the risk today, so let's see if he could calm down a little bit here. You know,
Let's
he
see if
gets
he
a
can.
touchdown here. He gets a touchdown here, they take the lead, so they're still in good shape.
There's a big pass getting across the 50-yard line. Gain of 35 on the play.
And Dorsett running out there almost escaped. He's got 2 catches for 51 yards today. He's out playing superstar Holmes.
And that was an interesting play call there, too, because he did call the screen, but he went to the receiver down the middle of the field instead of hitting the screen.
You know, Doss loves some of the unique reads in these plays. Mabry finally broke loose on a run there and made a couple nice moves on the way, getting their
Sure
first
did.
down.
Carr making a check at the line. And the single back hands it off to Mabry. Going up the middle, doesn't get much. About 2 yards, brings up 2nd and 8.
Mabry's chipping away himself, just like Waller. He's at 12 carries for 31 yards. The only difference is he's got that touchdown where he was able to scamper right on that toss. This is an interesting situation if these Raiders score here. The Jets can't be happy about that.
It
All
is.
the turnover they've created.
But with Carr, he's got to play it smart here. He cannot throw another pick. Short drop. Hits it up with a little hitch route there. Dumps it off, gets about 3 or 4 yards in the play, brings up 3rd and 4, and they're going no huddle.
Yeah, Holmes was pretty wide open on the slant. I'm surprised that didn't go to him, but hey, you're moving the chains, 3rd and 4 here. Let's see what Carr does.
Dropping back to pass. Tries to hit the in route, the little crosser, and he can't get it. That was Holmes again on the play. Couldn't hold on.
You know, Holmes dropped that, but that's another bad pass by Carr. He was wide open in front, and the ball goes to his back shoulder. He has to turn around on the run, and that allowed the defender to catch up to him and knock it loose. So, just another poor play by Carr as far as I'm concerned.
Just one of those days for him, huh?
He's having a rough one, yeah.
And Breckner taking it out. And a hole was there, but he couldn't get through it. Gets to about the 30-yard line. Still a nice return, taking it out of the end zone.
Breckner takes it up to the 31. The Jets are barely hanging on to a 3-point lead with the third quarter is going to run out with them up 3. These Raiders are hanging in there.
Looking to pass on first. Coming out of the heavy set. And it looked like it was caught, but he takes a huge hit on the play.
He gets blasted. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that was Hall. So Hall's been pretty steady tackle, defensive lineman for the Raiders, and he has to feel good about getting out in the open field and laying a hit like that. You know, defensive linemen don't get to do that very often.
They sure don't. But they can hit too. They're trying to prove that.
So here we go, start of the 4th. Let's see who's going to win it. 3-point lead for the Jets right now.
Let's go. Green 39. Green
Easy.
39.
Motioning Breckner. Dropping back to pass. Looking left. Hits Breckner on the drag. He goes down. Gain about 3 or 4 on the play. Yep, it is 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
So Raiders bringing the pressure, but also Hollier was getting bodied out there. He was trying to go to that corner route, and there was just so much traffic he couldn't get through to actually run his route, and I believe that's where Carr was looking. Or Easy.
Yeah, it's a good read there by Easy to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm not going to try and force it to my star. I'm just going to hit my guy underneath, get what I can, and it brings up a shorter 3rd and 4. Easy coming out in the eye for him. Strong right. Dropping back to pass, about an 8-yard drop, and hits the out route. That's a first down.
Yeah, Creer was playing, looked like he was playing inside there, and Skinner just ran a very smooth out route. Easy hit him perfect on the outside where only he could grab it and move the chains.
And Waller goes down at the 50.
Guess who was involved on that tackle?
I couldn't guess.
Zachary Larson.
Yep. What a beast.
Zachary Larson with his 5th tackle of the game. He's got a couple interceptions. The guy is just playing out of his mind right now.
He knew his old coach would be commentating the game. He's got a ball out.
Apparently.
Let's go.
I don't know where he got this smoked visor, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and Waller goes down with an injury. That's a tough one.
You hate to see that. He's been just chipping away. You got to admire his tenacity to keep going. I can't tell what the injury was. It looked like he was grabbing his leg there, but you got to hope it's just a bruise or something. He'll be back, hopefully.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Looking to pass on 3rd and 8. Has a wide open man over the middle. Oh, gets absolutely waylaid. And he's down on the 23-yard line. It was intercepted. What a play by that Raiders defense.
Ball pops loose on a nasty hit, and Carroll just works on his tip drill there, snags it out of the air, and the ball's going the other way. These Raiders have possession. With plenty of time left, they could take the lead here, middle of the 4th.
Handoff going left. A lot of space to run. Gets him by the ankles. Mabry almost broke that one. He's got 50 yards on the day.
Yep, and at the same time, we get word from the sideline that Waller dislocated an ankle. So it looks like he's done for the day, at least.
Gonna need the second man to step up. Can we see who's next on that depth chart, Ace?
93.
I'll take a look. Yeah, Murphy, the rookie, made that tackle on Mabry, saving the touchdown because it looked like he was getting loose there.
He did. And what a user swat there. Almost caught it on the tip drill at safety. Just couldn't hold on to it.
And that was, again, like you mentioned, Jared usering the cornerback from the start and was in perfect position to make that swat.
He just knew where it was going. You can tell, because that is something that Doss does like to call pretty frequently, is that little wide receiver wheel out of that I-form twins, and he saw it coming from a mile away. And Carr dropping back to pass out of the pistol. Looking to fire, barely gets it over the head of the linebacker, almost picked off there. If he'd have just stuck his hands up, he probably would have had it.
Risky throw, but Gray hauls it in, and they are on the move.
Monday down.
And Carr coming to the line. Gray in motion, handing the ball off.
Mabry's firing up now. 14 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. Another big one there to get a first down. About 10 yards on that carry. He is essential right now to moving the ball down the field because it seems like Carr can't get anything easy. So Mabry getting 10-yard runs is really helping this Oakland offense out.
No doubt. And Carr coming out again in the gun. Mabry to his right. Looking to pass, screen, and he actually passes it out to the left. There was a screen play there, but he had the read left, so he went there.
Gray makes a nice move. Looked like he was going to get tackled for about 8 yards. He makes a little juke there and gets another first. These guys are at the 9-yard line and knocking on the door to taking the lead here late in the fourth.
Carr trips right, tight end to the left. Motioning Gray outside. And he hands off to Adams. And he's across the line for the score. Touchdown, Raiders.
You gotta hate that from Mabry. Here the guy has been just grinding out all game, and right at the end here, he needs a little breather. Adams steps in to give him a breather and vultures a touchdown here. Could have been Mabry's for all that work he did.
Yeah, you gotta respect the guy that's been grinding it out all day.
But you know, these Raiders are happy to have that lead. So 4-point lead here, 4 minutes left. It'll be interesting to see who steps in for Waller, who got the injury earlier. The Jets did draft a rookie, Burgess, in the 3rd round, so it'll be interesting to see if he takes the field.
He is. They're going with Burgess, number 24. Easy. Looking to pass. Hits a man over the middle. What a catch. He got whacked on the play, but he still held on to it.
So it's kind of be interested to see what Burgess does here. He's 84 speed, 81 excel. We'll see if he could do anything with the ball in his hands. Not your typical Madden running back selection.
Not at all. But to your point on with Mabry, I think the real ones grieving right now are probably those fantasy owners. They're expecting their number 1 running back to get the reps, get that touchdown, and it goes to some no name that waltzes into the end zone. And those fantasy owners are probably up in arms.
Yeah, we'll have to check in with what's our fantasy guy's name? I already forgot his name.
Oh, good question. Barry Jefferson, I think.
Barry Jefferson.
Okay,
we'll have to check in with Barry Jefferson later and see what he thinks about Mabry getting a touchdown vultured from him.
Yeah. Easy coming out, 2nd and 10. Got really hit on that last play. That pass rush of the Raiders has finally decided to show up. Ooh, big hit there. And it looks like there's an injury on the play. It wasn't Breckner, but a guy named Berlin.
Yeah, Breckner, that was only his 2nd catch of the game, but it could be a critical one as he gets the ball moving again. They need everyone to step in here.
Easy looking to pass. And lurking, Mr. Zach Larson for his 3rd interception of the day. That might ice the game for the Oakland Raiders. These Jets are going to have to step up and make an offensive possession here that goes, or excuse me, they need to step up and have a defensive possession because, they've really been outscored pretty badly.
Yeah, they started out pretty hot, but Easy's completed more passes to Zach Larson than I think maybe anyone on his team. So I'll have to check the scoreboard or the stat board here, but Zach with 3 interceptions. Maybe he's just going to pound the ball here and shoot block. They have to create a turnover of some kind, these Jets, if they want any chance of winning this game.
Yeah, those quarterback spies, they're supposed to just play the quarterback, man, but they'll lurk on those little short slants, and you don't even see them because they're just sitting there hiding behind your offensive line, and they just reach their hands up and snag it.
Their shoulders are always squared. I think that's a big thing. Is they're automatically kind of in that straight position, so their shoulders are squared.
Yeah,
and I think that really helps with them picking the ball off.
You're totally right.
McMillan gets back there on another big tackle in the Wildcat, but they can't be letting all this time run off this clock. They have to stop this 3rd down conversion here. That's critical for the Jets' chances.
Looks like Doss is going to run it down to the 2-minute warning and force these Jets to at least call one more timeout if they can't pick this up. But I'm sure they'd like to get this first and run all those timeouts off the clock.
So where do you go here? Do you try to get it to Jalen Holmes, who has basically been shut down? I mean, where do you go with the ball here?
I think what he's doing here, honestly, oh man, he did exactly what you said. He tried to go to Holmes, but Holmes just can't get any separation from these corners.
Yep, he looked like the corner played that curl route perfectly, got the swat in there, and the Jets get one more chance.
And see, that hurts because, honestly, I probably would have either ran the ball or make sure I'm calling a pass that is for sure going to be a completion. Because now he didn't even have to use that one of his timeouts to stop the clock. And he's sitting here a minute 50 seconds, even though he's on the 9 or the 8 or whatever, or the 6. He still has plenty of time on the clock because he's got all 3 of his timeouts. Can pretty much call whatever he wants here. And Burgess tries to make a move, but cannot get much. Down at the 7. And goes no huddle. Looking to throw against the 9. And he's sacked. Is that a... Oh my goodness, he's down on the 1-yard line.
That can't even be the 1-yard line. It's got to be the 1-inch line. I don't know how that was not a safety.
Wow.
That was Clinkscale's second sack of the game. Remember, we started out saying that Raiders weren't getting any pressure.
Yeah.
Parker Easy's not having it easy anymore.
Oh my goodness, what an adjustment on that route by the wide receiver. That looked like it was thrown behind him, and he just stopped and made a beautiful catch in traffic.
Skinner with 5 catches on the day, and the Jets have to complete this. Who do they go to?
He does, of course. They go to Hollier. Hollier had a little bit of separation, keeps the feet in bounds, and moves the chains. They're down to the 38-yard line.
Even more importantly, he keeps his feet in bounds and then gets out of bounds to stop the clock. So they got a minute left, 3 timeouts. They're getting close to midfield.
You're right. It's win-win. And these Raiders can play a little aggressive because they have to. And who else is that? No, it's not. Never mind. That is, I believe, Kawhi Gentry. And that should ice it.
That's game over. Parker Easy has a pocket there, and just another bad read. Slings the ball out there, and Gentry is the only one in the zip code of that pass. And he's able to duck and dive and takes it back for a pick 6, and these Raiders have won this game despite Derek Carr.
You're right. It has been a wild one. And that should finish it. Depending, he does still have all 3 timeouts. So, theoretically, he could go down the field, score a touchdown, and then with all 3 timeouts, force him to 1 possession. They still have a chance, is what I'm saying. With all 3 timeouts, you don't have to go to an onside kick. You can pretty much call whatever you want here, as long as you score quick and don't use timeouts.
Mathematically, they have a chance, but Doss is going to play that quarter defense. You see him here. Looks like he's in a cover 4 look, and he knows the pass is coming. So with Parker Easy already with 5 interceptions, it's possible, not probable.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he's playing playing the sidelines pretty hard too. Doesn't want him to get out of bounds. Going back up to Breckner, but he cannot make the catch.
Breckner, just like Jalen Holmes, has just been smothered this game. He hasn't had very much room to work. So the number 2 receivers have really been critical in this game.
Who would have guessed that Oakland would have been up 34-23 with Jalen Holmes having 1 catch for 1 yard?
especially after going into the half. I mean, it was looking like they were going to go into the half down 17. Remember, it was 20-3 with less inside the 2-minute warning.
Yep.
Green 39.
But Zach Larson has single-handedly decided to take over this game.
And that's actually Clink scale with his third sack of the game.
So Clinkscale, and Zach Larson are the new 1-2 punch. They're the face of this Oakland defense.
Yeah, if you had to.
And another
And
pick.
Parker Easy, not happy with 5 interceptions, decides to throw one more with 3 seconds left in the game, and Carroll gets his second of the game. They're just, I mean, is that Parker Easy, or is that Oprah saying, you get an interception, you get an interception,
Yeah.
you get an interception?
Jared's feeling a little generous there with the football today.
Who's your MVP of the game?
Oh, good question. I gotta say Zach Larson. I don't think anyone can go with anyone else.
I mean, from the very start, he had that very first interception, and you could feel the momentum shift on that play. So I'd have to agree with you. Zach Larson turned this game around, said, "Come on, guys, we're not letting the rest of the AFC West get wins while we're not." And
Yeah.
the AFC West sweeps Week 1.
Well, how about that? That's impressive. I mean, they look good though. I mean, Van's got that killer running back that he's running behind. You do too. You got Geis. I mean, your offense is kicking it. You guys are doing great. That division's looking pretty stout this year.
We'll see if we can have some fun down the stretch here. You gotta imagine that Jared's pretty frustrated after that game, though. What
Oh
do you think
yeah.
he does Week 2 differently?
Oh, good question. I think he's definitely got to take care of the ball better. His defense is looking stout. They really didn't give up much running plays. They locked up that really big threat in Jalen Holmes. I think it's offensively, man. You got to get the run game going. You got to be able to lean on that defense and run the clock down because they can't continue to be a good defense if you're giving them possessions in the red zone and you're giving them possessions, just because you can't run the football. You're putting them right back out there on 3 and outs. They got to play to the strengths of their team, and the strength of their team is their defense right now.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Well, Parker Easy, he's got to go get his mind straight after throwing 6 picks. We'll see what he does.
For sure. Well, Ace, this has been a great game. Awesome one to call. It looked like for a little bit there it might be a runaway game, but Doss pulled it out. Crazy comeback, and I really look forward to hopefully doing this with you in the future.
Let's do it. I had a good time, and thanks for putting it all together. I know it's a little bit of work for you, so thank you for that.
Oh, no problem, man. It's always fun. So thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in. Hope y'all have an awesome Saturday. Let's hope to make this advance not 3 days. Thank you. This was the Eggplant Bowl, as we well know. I don't know if we announced that much during the game, but we went to a full 3 days thanks to our two lovely users, Jared and Doss. So shout out to you guys for deserving every single eggplant that was on your scheduling post. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. This is Regan and Ace signing off.
Aloha.